Last time, Tim and I camped in the Routt National Forest above Steamboat Springs after I replaced the front tire. The next morning, I woke up early, told Tim I was riding solo, and headed up to Flaming Gorge. I did not know it was going to take me 2 days to get up there, just because I stopped along the way to find some interesting camping spots. But first I had to get out of Routt. Yeah! Steamboat Springs headed towards Flaming Gorge. Rolling down the mountain into Steamboat Springs is breathtaking. I passed this guy. He must have been doing close to 50 miles an hour down the hill. And they had a balloon festival just for me, riding through Steamboat, just to show me off and show me how much they appreciate me spending my time and money in Steamboat. And I think the tire mounted and balanced on the bike. They pulled the tire off, everything, for $178. So, and then I had to drive that long drive through the desert, and I think it made me a little bit weary. And I started seeing signs on the side of the road for boat landings, recreation area looking signs. So they had a combination of picnic tables and boat landings, but after the third one, I just could not resist. I had to take one of these dirt roads. I think it was 6 miles, 8 miles, not that big of a deal. The roads were pretty decent shape, besides the washboards. And obviously lots of cattle out here in this area, but the river that I was headed towards is known as the Yampa. And from everything I've been told, the Yampa floods in the spring with all the snow melt, but you couldn't tell it now because it looks much like a creek, and a dirty little creek too, with cattle scattered all over the place. And this was one of the little unique features. My intention was to pull down in here and pull out the panels and charge the battery and maybe use a picnic table to do some editing and just take a break before the heat. And then it became an idea of, hey, maybe I should stay here overnight. Well, hey, little rabbit. How about some broccoli, my friend? Look like you could use some broccoli. Or some green leaf lettuce. So I would say that I'm camping on the Yampa River, but I haven't really decided to camp yet. I just spilled all my crap out here. I needed to take a break, and I thought, I'm on the Yampa River. It's a river. It can't be as cold as those creeks I've been bathing in so far. So I thought, this would be a good opportunity to not only drop down to the river, see what's here, but if the river is accessible and it's not too damn muddy, I'll take a bath. And that's exactly what I did. And I would not say that this is the most beautiful river I've ever seen, because it's certainly not, but I mean, it's very low because it's obviously Colorado is having some problems with rain. I think the word is drought. And this is an attempt to keep the cattle out. I thought maybe, pretty sure this is BLM because it looks like BLM. But when I got here, I thought, okay, all the gates are to keep the cows from going into the river, but that's just the opposite. It's keeping the cows, keeping all the cattle from coming up into the campground. So anyway, pretty interesting. I've had a pretty busy afternoon. I got out of Tout National Forest this morning early. I think around 8. I think I left Steamboat. Had to go back through Steamboat. Left Steamboat and then headed towards Dinosaur. I'm about 30 miles east of Dinosaur, so Dinosaur's that way. And I'm kind of curious at what the park has to offer, but again, it's a Park Service park, so it means it's probably $20-30 just to get in and see the exhibits, and it's dinosaur exhibits. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm not in a huge hurry to get to Flaming Gorge. I'm not in a huge hurry to get to Flaming Gorge. It's been kind of cold up in the mountains, so I'm thinking maybe this might be a change for me. I'll just see what it's like. The only shade in the whole damn place is right over there where I'm set up, just around the corner. It's that tree and the tree on the other side. And it's kind of hot here. I would say it's in the mid 80s, maybe high 80s. But all you got to do is just get out of the sun and everything feels fine. There's a nice cool breeze. But I'll probably stay tonight just because I'm not in a hurry. I just had to get out of the mountains and get a change of scenery. So here I am. I forgot to mention that I am charging my laptop while I'm working on it, which is the first time I've been able to do that since I hit the road. I culled some batteries. In other words, I pulled some not so good cells out of my battery pack, and it's working great. I think a large part of that has to do with the plentiful sunshine. Unlike many of the days, it's been partial sunshine some part of the day, and today it's just humming right along. I've been able to edit while I'm charging my laptop. Pretty excited about that. Oh, and not sure if I recorded the last time I repaired my broken arm on my drone, but I fixed this the other day and it got back to camp. First flight since it broke, got back to camp, everything was fine. And then this thing just snapped and it started spinning in circles and hit the ground. So I'm trying to make another attempt to repair this broken arm. Next time something like that happens, it may be over a river or a canyon and unretrievable. So I want to make sure I do it right this time, at least get a few more flights out of this damn thing before I have to move on. So I started to get all disgusted with myself because I thought I'd left the propeller blades at the house, but it turns out I actually stuffed them in the bag right there. I've got some, looks like I've got 2 extra propeller blades. And the second crash the other day took one out. It would probably still fly with this broken guy, but here's the kicker. Not only do I have extra propeller blades, I'm pretty sure I've got extra screws, and the one thing that was really holding me back, a screwdriver, because I knew I wasn't gonna have a tiny little screwdriver, but this sumbitch comes with a extra, or a tiny screwdriver, which I'm pretty stoked about. So even if I drop one of these screws, and it would disappear in the gravel below. Certainly. I still have more screws. So they gave me extra screws. Broken blade. This one's kind of damaged. I may have to replace this one too. But I'm fixing to take this thing up to do another test flight. Looks like this thing, I mean, I guess it could break again, but dadgum. If it breaks this time, I don't know. Maybe I should just replace the drone. Usually cheaper to replace the drone from what I've read than doing all the other crap. So anyway, so successful repair of one of the rotor blades. I'm not really sure why I came down here. I knew, number one, that they had picnic tables, and I needed to use a picnic table to repair the drone. Number two, they've got water. It's the Yampa River. It's a boat landing. And number three, there's an option to camp here. But then I got down here, I was like, you know, it's going to be hot as hell in here. This is basically the northwestern Colorado desert. It's not quite desert, but chaparral. I'm not sure what ecosystem this is, but it's hot up top. And this thing goes down below the river, so it's basically like a hole. So it got even hotter than I thought it was going to get. I was reading 94 on my watch, which, you know, I'm from Alabama. That shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? We get 98 and sometimes into the hundreds and tons of humidity. So I don't know, it's just been a weird day because I figured, okay, if it does get hot, there's a river. I could just go jump in the river, right? And I did that several times. And oddly, you could feel the difference in humidity, because as soon as you throw water on yourself, it starts to evaporate. So you have a very quick cooling effect. The water's not that cold at all, not anywhere close to where it was up in the mountains. And I can go stand in it, no problem. I can go out there and sit in it for probably an hour. But getting out of the water, you'll notice as soon as you get out, it feels like it's dropped 20 degrees. It feels like went from 94 to 74 or 64, probably more accurate, because you get a chill. So yeah, that was unexpected. But we are at the Yampa River State Park Public Access, East Cross Mountain, and we're at number 11. Ooh, rapids. Wow, how about that? There's rapids upstream from here. Wow, I had no idea. I looked up the creek. I call it a creek because it's really not flowing like a river today. So I guess there's some shoals on the other side of that bend. There's a looks like it's a overflow, a cut right here that goes up here that you can't really see. But I keep waiting for the cows. I keep waiting. The thing I needed to tell you about is I've had this thing to myself all day long, and I just started realizing, you know, nobody's going to come down here. This is the middle of nowhere. There's a 67-mile stretch with no services. So that also means there's probably not a lot of people that live out here. So that, and not just that, there's several of these. I passed at least 3 of these coming from, I'm trying to think of that last little town. Anyway, I passed at least 3 of these, probably more. And I'm thinking, what's so special about this? This is just access to another part of the river. So maybe this is a point where if there's white water, you got a bunch of rapids and you can pull out here if somebody gets hurt. So anyway, it's a nice little state parks boat landing. It's basically campground and boat landing. Colorado State Parks. $14 to camp. And this is what you get. That and a grill that you can't use and a picnic table. Well, sadly, I've only got $8 or $20. So it's either I gyp them out of, what is it, $6, or they gyp me out of $6. So I'm going for well, there is a sign up here that says citations written for people without permit. I think that's what they call it, permit. You purchase your permit up here. Man, it's the first time it's really cooled off. The sun's not even down yet. 30 minutes ago, the clouds weren't there and it was hot. It was probably still in the 90s, low 90s maybe. Trying to hide out in the shade. There's not much shade here. And that's the big problem. It's not that it's 94 degrees in Colorado sun. Problem is there's no shade. There's 3 little bushes that I've been hiding behind today. So that and jumping in the creek. So $14 for camping for a pass, not a permit. Valid pass. Yeah, citations issued. Yeah, there's no pin. I can't register. Well, maybe there is. No. There's certainly wasps in there. And I wonder what this guy does. Sure would be cool. Traffic tally. So yeah. Maybe that's telling on me, telling somebody that I'm here. Who knows? Do not, there's my excuse. Do not insert if sick. I've been coughing. No, really sick. I need to stay away from people.
Saturday morning, and I just spent the night out here on the Yampa River. That was a lot of fun. I was expecting to get up and wander around in the middle of the night. Usually I get up at least once and pee, but that didn't happen. So I have no idea what is going on out here at night. I kind of wanted to sleep up on a hilltop so I could see miles and miles around. I'm guessing there's probably antelope and maybe some deer out here somewhere. I know there's rabbits, or at least one, because he's hiding in there. But as far as everybody, oh, there's a vehicle. Yeah, out there, just saw him, lights. He's probably coming to give me a citation for not paying my... You know, it may look like it's all fun and games, and it pretty much is, but there's still chores to do. We're gonna go wash some dishes. I just want to show you the reality of life on the road. It's not all fun and games. It's like 99% fun and games, but you still got to do some chores. That's basically what I'm saying. Is that coming across? Part of my attempt to document the journey is not only giving you the full beauty that I see, which is hard to do, extremely hard to do, to give you every bit of the experience that I am seeing, but I also want to give you the reality, the small doses of reality that I add in. You know, the things that are, you're doing them at home, and you're going to have to do them on the road. Either that or live more like an animal, and I don't like living like an animal. I mean, this is about as close to living like an animal as I like to get. I don't like sipping from hoof prints. I am not a Texas Ranger. I do not lap water from hoof prints or horse tracks, as famous character Rooster Cogburn would tell you. You do not believe it? Oh yeah, I believed it the first 20 times I heard it. Doing the dishes in the Yampa. That's one way to do it. Takes most of the junk off. As long as your dinnerware does not float off, it's probably going to be a success. Well, 6 miles down a dirt road. It's a whole lot more comfortable with an 80/20 tire, and I'm loving the Shinko right now. Never would have thought I would put them on a big touring bike, but it makes a hell of a difference. The handlebars vibrate going down the pavement, especially going straight. When you lean in, it's a different experience. But I'm pretty excited to be back on the road going the dinosaur, living the dream, baby! Woo!